everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome to a new playthrough video. Today I'm going to be playing a game called Cthulhu Death May Die. I've played this in the past, but I just got Season 3 and 4 in the mail, and while I'm painting up the minis and reading the rules and such like that, I figured I'd go ahead and play through as many of the first two seasons as I can. If this is of interest to you and you want to see more of this game, let me know in the comments. If it's not something that people want to see on Mythos Monday, that's not a problem. I'll play it play it solo and by my without recording it, and find some other games. Today I am playing Scenario 1 from Season 1. It's called Blasphemous Alchemy. I've set up the board here, and I'll explain the rules and how things go as we get moving. I'm going to be playing true solo. I'm playing a character called Adam. He is going to be starting over here. You see all these cultists in yellow. These guys aren't on the board yet. Well, red, and I have one yellow because I lost one of my red cultists, so I subbed in a yellow one. The goal of this game is they are trying to summon Hastur. And in order for me to stop the ritual, I need to destroy 4 of the 5 labs on this table. And those are represented by these little blue tokens that I've randomized and placed according to the map. So there's 1 here, 2, 3, and then in the basement, 4, 5. To get to the basement, I have to take this secret stairway. It's the only way to get down here. Now, impeding me are the cultists. There's a Byakhee and a fire vampire. And they're going to try to, kill me or drive me insane. And if you're not familiar with most games based on H.P. Lovecraft's mythos, most games don't end well. It's just one of those in-jokes that people who love everything about the mythos, and we play all the different games in this universe, it's hard to win sometimes. Frequently, your hero or your investigator goes insane or dies, and it's just all part of the game. I don't know how this game is going to end, but I am going to have fun because I do love this game. A few business items before we get started, and then I'll tell you what's going on. This is the Mythos deck. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle it in front of you here. This consists of 2 decks that are mixed together. This game is very, very replayable. The reason being is the game it has 2 components. It has the scenario, and then it has the big bad, the Elder God. And there's a lot of Elder Gods out there right now for this game, and there's a lot of scenarios. And so when you pick your Elder God and you pick the scenario, you get half and half, and you mix them together. And that's one part of the replayability of this game, which is just really incredible. The other thing is there are literally at this point, I believe we have crossed over 100 different investigators across 6 different seasons. Each season is a box, and each box typically comes with 6 scenarios. Season 5 and Season 6 just finished the Kickstarter, so that we won't see that game for a year or more. But the first 4 seasons are out. So that means you've got at least, I think there's some secret scenarios or lost scenarios that have been released here and there in some add-ons or stretch goals. But the basics of the game are you're going to pair an Elder God with a scenario and pick your investigator, and that gives you so many options to play. All right, so I'm going to place the Mythos deck right here. This is the Discovery deck. These are mostly good. You want to be drawing Discovery cards because there's a lot of tools and relics and allies that you can get that will help you in your scenario. And since I'm playing it solo, I need allies. So I'm going to put that up here. And then the last thing is every investigator begins with a psychosis or a something bad. It's a psychosis or a some sort of bad thing that you have to do at certain times in the game. So I'm going to take the first one here. I'm going to put the rest of these aside, and I'll tell you that Adam has paranoia. So when I reach this symbol on the game board, and I'll show you the game board. So on the game board up here, this is tracking my my sanity. And every one of these reddish circles represents a stopping point where I will have to trigger my sanity. And it says, when this happens, all monsters on the board will move 1 space towards you. And that's basically all the monsters. The cultists are considered cultists or humans. And then it says, then if there are no enemies in your space, you get to heal all your stress. So what is stress? Stress is tracked here, and your health is tracked here. If you reach this point, you're dead. If you reach this point on the sanity tracker, you've gone insane, game over. And the stress, you can burn stress to reroll dice. And you'll see that in action once I start playing. The dice are unusual for this game. They're not numbered 1 to 6. You have the black dice. Anytime you make a roll, you will always roll 3 black dice. On the dice is a blank side, which has no effect, an exclamation point, which is considered a success. For me, it's a success doing something. When the enemy attacks me, that means they hit me. The elder sign is usually treated as a blank unless you have a skill that says an elder sign is treated as a success, or sometimes it tells you you can do things when you roll an elder sign. And then the last symbol is the tentacles. That is where you will move your sanity 1 track forward. And there is one specialty where you get a success and a set of tentacles. So it counts as a success, but it drives you a little insane. Now, you will roll these, and for instance, I got 2 blanks and a tentacle. Now, I can burn a stress to re-roll this to try to get something better. And I got an elder sign, which in my case doesn't really do much. But it means I'm not going to be driven a little insane. This game is all about managing your stress, managing your health, and managing your sanity. You've got to keep an eye on all of them. I am by no means an expert at this game, but I've played enough of it and lost enough of it to know that sometimes if you get a little lackadaisical and you forget to watch your stress or you forget to watch your health, the game can end very, very quickly, especially with your health. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, and let me read you about what's going on. What's worse than cultists? Cultists who set the place on fire. Another night and another damn ritual to summon an elder god. If we blow up their labs, we can cause a lot of trouble for whatever it is they are summoning. So I have a number of actions I can take in this game. I can move, I can attack, I can rest, I can trade. If I had more players or if I was playing 2 investigators, I could trade items or things between them. And I can also, what was the other one? I always forget. There's a bunch of different actions you can take. There are episode actions, that's right. So the episode actions are specific to the episode. And in this episode, I got 2 special actions. I can extinguish a fire, and it requires a dice roll. You'll see that in action. Or I can destroy equipment, and that requires a dice roll. Now it says, to disrupt the ritual, destroy 4 of the 5 labs. Now it also says, when the elder god advances, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 advances of the elder god. And it says, when the elder god advances, place a fire token in each space that has any cultists and no fire. You'll notice there are fire tokens here. If you move into a room with a fire token, that's not a problem. It's if you move out of the room, you are going to be on fire. That's why there is an extinguish fire option. If you catch on fire, which I'm sure I will, we'll deal with that when the time comes. The elder god will advance at pretty specific times. At the end of each of my turns, and I get 3 actions per turn, I will draw a mythos card. And on these mythos cards, it will tell me things to do. Spawn a cultist here, spawn a fire there. But it will also possibly have a large red circle at the top of the card. After you draw 3 cards that have 3 circles on it, the elder god advances. When the elder god advances, bad things happen. When it reaches this point, the game ends. The world is ended. When it reaches the red, the elder god becomes a physical manifestation on the board, and he can attack you if you're in his space. He can move towards you, things like that. If you end the ritual, when you end the ritual, it immediately summons the elder god, and you can damage the elder god. If he's been summoned and I still haven't destroyed at least 4 labs or 4 workshops, I can't damage him. I have to end the ritual, and then I can damage him. And we'll get to that part, but he is very difficult to kill. All the elder gods are difficult to kill because it's not just 1 card for them. You have 4 cards that you're going to move through that are going to slowly build his power up. and it gets crazy. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I've got this here. I've got my paranoia. All right, on my action. Now, Adam has some unique abilities. Those are represented by these 3 tokens right here. And I can level up these skills I can level up 1 every time I reach one of these red dots. When he starts, he can attack a target 1 space away. Spaces are defined by arrows, and you probably can't see it very well, and I do apologize, I can't get a better angle on it, but most of these rooms are counted as 1 space. Some of these big tiles count as 1 room. Some count as multiple rooms, and it depends on the arrows that are on them. And I'll let you know when I reach a room that it's big, but it might count as 2 rooms. So right now, these 2 cultists are in this 1 single room, and I can fire into that before I ever go in there, which is what I'm going to do. It says you may attack a target 1 space away. I have 3 skills. That was my marksman that allows me to fire. I have toughness, which gives me 1 free reroll when attacked or rolling for fire. And by reroll, it means rerolling the dice I want to reroll. And then fueled by madness says when I gain a green bonus die when my sanity sits on a red dot. The green dice, you want these because they have no tentacles on them. They can only roll things that can really help you. They can't hurt you. Let me just leave it at that. All right, so I'm not going to move. And when you move, by the way, you can move up to 3 spaces. You don't have to move a full 3. You can move up to 3. So before I move in here, I'm going to spend 2 actions to attack because there's 2 cultists. It may take all 3. Let me, I'm going to roll my 3 dice, and that's all I can roll. I have no green extra dice. And what I'm looking for is successes. Now, the cultists are on this card, and they have 2 health. They take 2 hits to kill. So let me fire at the first one. I got 1 success, and I got an elder sign, but I don't have the ability to turn that elder sign into anything, and I also got a blank. I am going to burn a stress. I reset this to 0, sorry. And now I'm going to burn 1, and I want to re-roll this one to see if I can get a success. And I got a success and a madness. Now, I'm not too worried about madness early on. I do like the success because this is my first action. So I'm not going to take any more stress to re-roll this. I'm going to kill this one. And I'm going to take my second action. I'm going to shoot at this one. And I didn't get anything good. I'm going to burn. That was my second action. I did get a sanity, and remember, I need to bump this up 1. I did get a tentacles. I'm going to burn a stress to try to re-roll that and get it out of here. All right, I got a success. I need 2, so I'm going to take 1 more stress and re-roll one of these. I got another success and a tentacle. Now, I could take another stress and try to re-roll that, but instead, I'm going to take the insanity. I'm going to kill this, and on my 3rd and final action, I'm going to take what's called a rest. When you take a rest, you cannot have any monsters or humans or anything in your space. When you're in an empty space, you can rest. So when you rest, you can heal 3 of any combination of stress or health. Now my health is perfect, but I've gone up 3. So I'm going to take a rest and go 1, 2, 3, and my stress is all the way down. And that is the end of my turn. At the end of your turn, there is a specific order of actions that you have to take. The first one is you draw a mythos card. Okay, so let's do that. All right, there we go. I did get the red dot. So, and when you draw these cards, you leave them out. And once you get 3, they'll be shuffled back in. So this card is going to be set out. But I also have to do what's below it. It says each Byakhee moves directly into your space. Well, that's bad for me. This Byakhee must fly all the way here. And then it says summon a Byakhee at red. Well, there's only 1 Byakhee in this game. The card tells you you're going to use 1 Byakhee and 1 vampire. So the game does come with 2 Byakhee, but as I understand it, you're supposed to use the number on here. So there's 6 cultists, 1 Byakhee, 1 fire vampire. So it won't spawn another one until I kill this one. And I will put this card here to remind me that I have a red dot. Now, The next thing you do after you draw your card is you do either what's called an investigate or fight. If there was nothing in my space, I would investigate and draw one of these cards, which I told you are usually good. Usually. Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer, and let me interrupt this video for about 30 seconds to let you know about my new Patreon. It's just $2 a month, and all of my patrons get access to all of my videos that normally appear on YouTube, but they get them a week earlier than normal. I also have a number of games that I play privately that only my patrons have access to. In addition, once a week, we do a live miniature painting session. You come online with me and we paint and chat. I also do a once a month live chat session. We talk about anything and everything. If this sounds of interest to you, check the video description below. There's a link to my Patreon. Like I said, it's just $2 a month, and what those extra funds allow me to do is make more videos, and that's what I want to do. So I hope you'll consider joining me as a patron, and now let's get back to the video. But because he's there, I have to fight, and I'm not fighting him. That's on my turn. He's going to attack me. I consult this card here, and this card is specific to this scenario. The Bianchi has 3 health. He attacks with 2 green and 1 black, and it says when it attacks, each elder sign counts as a success. So that is not good for me. So and you can use your stress to force rerolls of a creature's dice. So let's see if he attacks me. That's not good. He got 3 successes. So I have no stress. So I'm going to burn 1 to reroll. There's 2 blanks on here, and there's 3 exclamations and 1 elder sign. So the odds are not good if I re-roll the green. The odds are probably more in my favor. Well, not really, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's still 4 successes on a black. So I would rather re-roll the green because there's 2 blanks on it versus just 1 on the black die. So I burn a stress, I get a success. I'm going to try it one more time. I got another success and an elder. That is 4 damage. I got to burn a stress to try to get rid of that elder sign. I'm going to burn 1 more stress. I have really... okay, and an elder sign counts as a success. So I take 3 damage. That hurt. That is the end of the investigator fight, and then you resolve the end of turn effects. The end of turn is where you check to see if you have 3 of these, and you also check to see if you're on fire. I'm not on fire, so I don't have to do that, and I don't have 3 red dots, so it is now back to my turn. All right, at this point, I am going... I don't have a choice. I have no more stress. I can move here, but anytime you move, if there's a creature in your space, it moves with you unless you have what's called the sneak ability. I don't have that. So, it says you may have 1 free reroll when attacked or rolling for fire. Let's take my free reroll. Let's go back and put, I had 2 of these, and I rerolled, I did a elder sign somewhere. So I forgot that my toughness allows me 1 free reroll. So let's reroll this and hope for a blank. It didn't help, so I still took my 3 damage. All right, so on this turn, I'm gonna have to fight it. And remember, it has 3 health, so I need 3 successes, and I'm only rolling 3 black dice. And my odds aren't good, especially since I have no stress. Oh man, this may be one of the fastest games I've ever played. I got 1 success, 2 successes. And the elder sign says gain a green when your sanity's on, so I don't get an extra green. You have 1 free reroll. I don't get a reroll because I'm not being attacked and rolling for fire. This would have been good. So I got 2 successes. So I will place 2 damage on it. That was my first action. And I didn't roll any tentacles. So for my second action, I will attack again. I just need 1 hit to kill it. I got 1 and a tentacle, so I will march my madness up 1. I will kill the Bianchi, so it's out of the game until it gets summoned again. And I killed it on my second turn. This is bad. I haven't even moved out of the starting position. I'm already in bad shape. I need to rest because I'm at 4 health. 2 more hits and I'm killed. So I'm going to take my health down 2 and my stress down 1 by taking a rest action as my 3rd and final action. And again, I haven't even left the room yet. This has been a bad start for me. All right, end of my turn. Draw a Mythos card. And I did shuffle it. Another red. Each figure in a space with an undestroyed lab takes a wound. Okay, so it's like they're catching on fire, which helps me. So all of the cultists that are with each figure in a space with an undestroyed lab. So you're not you. This one. And this one. Fire. It just says they take a damage. Each space with an undestroyed lab. Also, each investigator with a guilty conscience. Guilty conscience I don't have. It's one of the negative cards in the discovery deck. Takes 2 stress. For each stress they cannot take, they take a wound. Okay, but since I don't have the guilty conscience, I don't have to worry about this. So I put this here to remind myself that I now have 2 red stars. So this guy could advance on the next turn if I draw another one. All right, it is that was the draw Mythos card. Now I'm on an empty space, so I will draw a discovery. I'm investigating, not fighting. I found the professor. Have you seen my students? They escaped. I mean, walked out during an experiment. If any investigator has the spirit of Nagal, the professor bursts into flames. Discard and take a sanity. Otherwise, you may take 2 stress to claim the professor. Well, here's the problem. I only have 1 stress, so I cannot take the professor. And the professor has 1 wound. So when I take a wound, I could assign it to this card and discard this. But while he's assigned to me, it says while you have him, I gain 1 level of Arcane Mastery, which I don't have that as a skill, but I would become a level 1 Arcane Master. And doesn't matter, I don't have it. So an Arcane Master, I think, allows you to substitute a Elder Sign as a success. All right, let's see. I just drew the investigate. All right, so now it's resolve end of turn. I only have 2, and I'm not on fire. It is my turn. Finally, I can move into a room. So for my first turn, remember, I'm supposed to be trying to destroy these labs. There's a fire token here. I could move, put out the token, put out the fire for move for my first action, put out the fire, and shoot this guy for my 3rd and final, which I think is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move 1, 2 spaces. Now I'm in here. I'm not on fire yet. I'm on fire if I move out. For my second action, I'm going to try to put out the fire. It says make a roll, and a roll for me is 3 black dice. Remove 1 fire token in your space for each success. So I just need 1 success, but remember, tentacles will hurt me. And I got a tentacle and a tentacle with a success, so I can remove it, which I'm going to do. And I'm going to burn my last stress to try to get rid of this insanity. And I did. So I do take 1 sanity. Now notice, I have now moved onto a red dot. That means I'm going to trigger my paranoia, and I'm also going to increase one of my skills. Paranoia says all monsters on the board move 1 space towards you. The monsters are the fire, and he can move. He's trying to get to the staircase, so the closest is going to be here. And monsters don't catch on fire when they move into a fire and move out. Neither do cultists. And then there is no Bianchi, so nothing else moves. And then it says, then, if there are no enemies in your space, there are not. Heal all your stress. Oh, that was a good. Okay, now I get to level up. I can do Fueled by Madness. It says instead gain a green while your sanity is on a red or 1 space back. Right now it's here. I want to leave that. Well, no, I could level that. This one says if I move marksman, it says I gain 2 green when targeting a target not in your space. Absolutely, I want that one. Because when I shoot him, I'm going to now roll 5 dice. I'll roll 3 black and 2 green. All right, that is the end of turn 2. I put the fire out. I moved, put the fire. Now I'm going to shoot. I need 2 success. Actually, he's got 1 damage on him, so all I need is 1 success. And I got 3 successes. So he is dead. The heart goes away. And that is the end of the turn. I draw a Mythos card. I didn't get a red dot. Each fire, vampire, and Bianchi moves 1 space towards you. Now remember, the stairs lead all the way over here, so he's got a little ways to go. Then it says summon a fire vampire. Well, he's already summoned, and summon a Byakhee at blue. I killed the Byakhee, so now he can come back in at blue here. And this one, it just gets set here. It's not a trigger. Now, I am in a space with nobody, so again, I get to draw a card. Good boy. Who's a good boy? You may take 2 stress to claim the dog. If you don't claim the dog, you have to get the guilty conscience. So I will take the 2 stress, and I get Rex. Heal 1 stress at the end of each turn, and he has 1 health. I definitely don't want to lose him. That is excellent to have. So I get the T-Rex, I get Rex the T-Dog. It's not the end of my turn. It's the, actually not yet. So I will get to heal a stress because I have him at the end of the turn. That is all I can do. It is the end of the turn. There are not 2 reds out, and I'm not on fire. So I heal a stress, and now we go to the next turn. Let's see. What do I want? I need to destroy this lab. So I'm in a space. I don't have to be in this. Well, hold on. You may attack a target. Is a lab considered a target? Make a roll against a lab in your space. It doesn't count as an attack. So I actually have to move here. All right. Now I get to make an attack. This doesn't count. Make a roll against a lab. So the problem is I don't get the 2 green because that's attacking a target, not in your space. So once again, I'm only rolling 3 green or 3 black dice. Now, I am on the red, so it says I gain a green when my sanity's on there. So I do get a green. And I have to remember that I have a free reroll when attacked or rolling for fire. I should have gotten a free reroll on that, but I didn't need it. When attacked or rolling for fire. Okay, so I'm going to try to destroy the equipment. I need each success deals 1 wound, and when a lab has 4 wounds, it's destroyed. Flip the token over, read the text to reveal its effect. I did not get any successes. I'm going to burn 1 stress. That's a lot of that's 2 sanity lost here. I'm going to re-roll 1 of the black dice. I got a success. I'm going to re-roll the other black die. Nothing. And I'm going to take my last stress and re-roll the green, because remember, the green has better chances. And I failed. So I put 1 wound on the lab, and that was my first act. My first action was to move. Second action, I'll do it again. Did I roll any? Did I get rid of the? Yeah, I got rid of the sanity, so I still get the green die on my thing. I could rest. I probably need to rest, so I have some. I'm going to rest, so I heal 3. 1, 2, 3, and then for my 3rd turn, I'm going to shoot it. I got 1 success, 2 gain. These don't count. I'm going to burn a stress to re-roll the tentacles. I got a success and a tentacle. I'll keep it, and I'm going to burn 1 more to re-roll this green and hope for a 3. I did. I got it. So I got 3 plus the 1, so it's destroyed. And I have to flip it over to see what happens. It says Inferno. Place a fire token in this space and each adjacent. 1, 2, 3. That's not what I needed, but that's okay. So I do have 1 lab destroyed. All right, I try to keep these videos under 30 minutes, so I will be back in the next episode, and I'll pick up right where I left off. We'll see if Adam can continue moving forward and destroying labs so that we can hopefully defeat Hastur. I should probably go ahead and draw a Mythos card. I got the 3rd red. Each cultist moves 1 space towards you. This one will move here. This one will move here. This one will move here. And that's it right now. And then summon a cultist at red. Red is down here. All right. Hastur advances, and I'll pick that up in the next video and explain how that works. Until then, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me on this game of Cthulhu Death May Die. I'll be back very soon with the next episode. Until then, everybody, take care.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.